Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Okay, so what is going on, guys? Joey Franzel here with Flexx Training Systems. I have Mr. Kirk Gibson here with me today. Go ahead and say hi, Kirk.
What's up, guys?
Oh shit! Is that better? That's probably much better,
Yeah, that sounds better.
huh? All right, so today, what I wanted to talk to Kirk about. Hold on, let me mess with this a little bit. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Um, so Kirk, how long you been working with me, Kirk?
Shoot, man. We started back in February, I think.
Okay, so February of this year, and you were all right, but you've hit some pretty big numbers recently, especially at your last meet and in the gym now regularly, which gets me
Yeah.
excited for your next competition. But the reason why I have Kirk on here is because Kirk actually went through a fucking spinal fusion, okay? A spinal fusion, right? So you guys that complain about back pain, you complain about this and that. He literally went through basically worst case scenario, came out of it, and basically I wanted to have him come on and just talk about his experience, how he went through that, and all that. So Kirk, if you could, let us know, how did you kind of get into lifting? So talk about like a little bit before the injury, right? Talk about how you got into lifting, and then what kind of led up to the injury, and then we'll go through the actual injury, the recovery, and then when you were able to like get back to it.
All right. So when I first started lifting, I was a junior in high school. So this was probably about 8 years ago. I was really a fat, weak kid. I was probably like 5'8", 5'9", 240 pounds, and it was like just soft as hell. So my dad drugged me into a CrossFit gym every morning at 6 a.m. And I absolutely hated it. Couldn't stand it. Like every day, I'd pray to God he wouldn't wake up. I would have to go because it was just miserable. I hated it so much. But after a while, I just started getting a little stronger here and there. So finally, I was just like, well, screw it. I'm gonna try to take it pretty serious. So I started. I did a little paleo diet thing at the time. So really just cut out a lot of carbs and whatnot. And I lost like 70-ish pounds. I got down to like 170.
So hold up.
And
At how old were you at this point?
so at this point, about my senior year, I was probably about 18. I'd lost about 70
So you
pounds.
lost 70 pounds. So yeah, the whole CrossFit keto thing. I mean, you will lose weight,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for
It's
sure.
just kind of transitioning out of that. So okay, so you lost all the weight, about 18 years old, 170 pounds. So now I'm assuming you're skinny, but like kind of starting to get some muscle,
Yeah,
starting to
for sure.
realize.
Like I thought I was strong. Like I look at old
Mm-hmm.
pictures and stuff. I thought I was jacked for a high schooler, which I was stronger than most kids in high school for sure. But yeah, I definitely put on a lot of size since then.
Nice.
And so after that, I was like, I kind of realized I could be pretty good at CrossFit. So I started pursuing that. Started training. I'd made the CrossFit Games regionals 5 times. I made it
And
5 times.
damn,
And
that's dope. So about what year was your first regional?
2012 was my first
Okay,
regional.
so that yeah, see that was when maybe I didn't really yeah, maybe around then I really started to see. Hold on, so you made it is it year annually? Is it once a year?
Yeah, once a
So
year.
you made regionals 2012, 13, 14, 15,
14,
16.
15, 16. Yeah.
That's sick, man. And it's not would you say it's hard like relative like how many people actually can make regionals, like pass regionals?
All right. So for your region, my region, it was Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina. So 4 states. And the first few years, they took the top 40 people. And then the last 2 years I made it, they only took the top 20 out of those 4 states. And then those
Really?
guys would,
So it's
yeah,
hard.
it is not easy for sure. I mean, I would say I was, not to brag, but probably a top 60 CrossFitter in the world at the time.
I
I never
mean,
quite made the games, but I was right outside that bubble.
how many CrossFit's huge, right? With like millions of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and there's no weight class. I don't think it's just
No,
any
it's
man,
just,
like all
yeah,
men. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the standards, it's kind of like strongman, where like Like you
Yeah,
gotta
exactly.
lift. You have to lift the weight that's there, and it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah,
if you can't lift it, then you lose, right?
exactly. You might have like a 405 deadlift in a workout, and you got to be strong enough to do that, but you might have to turn around and do some muscle ups too. So you can't be too
Yeah, yeah,
heavy
yeah.
to do things like that. So
So
the weight kind of your body weight just kind of works itself out.
yeah, because I mean you gotta handle all that
Oh,
stuff. The
yeah,
crazy thing about CrossFit is like you're doing so many different things. You're pulling your body so many different directions, and it almost reminds me of football, but it's also
yeah,
more sporadic. Where like,
yeah.
how do you know what to train for? You just gotta do everything. You just
Yeah,
gotta be good at
really.
it all. So okay, so you qualified for 5 years, and you didn't get hurt the whole time.
No, I did.
Okay.
That's the thing. Yeah, yeah. So probably my fourth and fifth regionals both. I had qualified when my spine was fractured and I didn't know it.
What the
So
fuck?
yeah, yeah. So basically, okay. So 2013 was really my best season. I went there. I had a lot of good events, and at the time, I'm basically I was one of the strongest CrossFitters around, if not, arguably the strongest. And then when my back injury happened, it messed everything up for Olympic lifting and just heavy deadlifts and stuff like that. I couldn't pull anymore.
So you were
And
trying to keep up. You're trying to keep going, but you're back.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
hurt
So
your.
I got a lot better at other things because lifting started turning into not my specialty. I was still, even with a jacked up back on a good day, I could still place fairly well in a max lift. But I ended up getting it a lot better at a lot of other things because of it.
Wouldn't like the jumping, any type of jumping, any type of impact, maybe you have to climb
Yeah,
a
I
rope
think
and you jump down from the rope, wouldn't that like
yeah,
screw you up?
yeah. I could definitely feel it when I jumped, or like if I take off, like a hard sprint. Surprisingly, would bother it. Uh,
I could see that. Some people used to tell me, I had a chiropractor once tell me that if I sprint, it's like you're gliding. But
yeah,
I think if you're heavy enough, well, how much did you weigh about this time?
probably about 185, 190.
Okay, so not too bad, not too heavy. And you're like what, 5'11",
I,
5'10",
I,
5'9"? Okay, so you're doing CrossFit. Was it one event where you remember, oh my god, I fucked up my back?
like is yesterday. All right, so I don't know if you've ever seen this thing called Grid League. The national,
I've heard of it. It's kind of like
it was like
a
a
different fed,
knockoff
maybe.
CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I went to like a tryout for a team for one of those things,
Hmm.
and also I ended up doing it one year and got paid a lot of money for something really stupid that I'm sure they lost a lot of money for sure. But so the first year they had it, there was a tryout, and it was so dumb, man. You ended up having like max all these different kind of lifts. So I maxed a snatch, a clean, uh, probably a deadlift all on the same day, and the next day we had like what they called races, which was a workout, and I was already feeling kind of weird, like my pull and stuff felt exhausted, and we had to go out there and do 225 clean and jerks for reps, which is nothing for me. And after about the second one, I just couldn't pull it anymore.
225 clean and jerks.
Yeah,
I remember back in like that's a good amount. That's a lot. The jerk
yeah,
part
no,
would be
sure.
hard for
It's
me.
heavy for a workout for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me as a stronger guy, it wasn't a problem. It was something I could definitely bang out. But by the second one, just all of a sudden, just all kind of pain was just shooting down my legs, and I didn't really. It's like nerve pain, like just,
Yeah. So, I
like
mean,
my lower half would just shut off, kind of.
I don't know if you know this, but long time, followers, subscribers. So I never fractured my vertebrae to my knowledge. I know I didn't because I got many X-rays and many MRIs, but
Yeah,
I did herniate a disc to the point where it tore the annular tissue. So basically, it's like the shell of it, and I had that kind of pressing on my left sciatic nerve, which it's crazy because I know you can relate. It's like it feels because the nerve radiates down your leg, so you want to touch the area of the leg and like kind of rub it
yeah,
out, but it's
yeah. I
not
was always trying to
it's
work
not
my
gonna
glutes,
work.
my
It's
hamstrings, and all kinds of stuff
you have to
because I
address
had
the
no idea
area.
that it's actually my back. Yeah,
Yeah, so and it's like a burning, it's like an unrelenting, just kind of burning, annoying. Like it is the most frustrating thing to deal
yeah.
with. It's like a
Yeah,
plague, honestly.
like it's a weird feeling. I've never felt it doing anything else. It's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, but It's
And
very, very uncomfortable.
so what made you finally say, "Fuck, I need to go get checked. This is like not. This is not gonna work."
So after like a couple of years of just going to different chiropractors and stuff, and them BSing me, telling me that like they could do this and help this and what, and some things would kind of alleviate the pain maybe a little bit. So it had me coming back thinking that it was working. But finally, after a while, my dad knew of this, spinal specialist,
Yeah.
and so we rode up there and he took an MRI and said, "Yeah, your back's broken." So
Is
all
it
this stuff.
was it like literally broken and like the pieces are just floating around, or did it start to heal kind of weird because you had kept going?
And the pieces were floating around. It was broke.
Damn.
They actually
So
like took. And they like when they did the surgery, they kind of like used it and they used that stuff and melted it all together and fused it back into the spine
do
with
you
other
have
things.
do you have any knowledge as to what type of procedure? So did they remove any of your discs?
No. Well, yes, they did actually. So that L5S1 area, that
Yeah,
that
that's where I had it
that
too.
little piece it's man made. It
So
doesn't
so for
it
those
doesn't
that don't know, I mean, obviously, you have your vertebrae, right? They kind of look like those bones that stick out, kind of like that, right? There's a bunch of them, and they like interlock. In the middle, you have like it's almost like a jelly, right? In between the two, parts of your spine. So they actually had to go in there and take that guy out. They just took
hmm
it out. I mean, it's. Did they go through your back or the front?
back.
That's crazy, man. So
Yeah.
I've seen
I
the
got
one.
like 5 back there now.
The one in the front is insane. Like they cut you down the middle and they move all your guts out the way and take it out the front. Did they
Yeah.
I don't know if you I'm sure you did a bunch of like research on it to see what they were going to do to you, but did they put in the two metal plates and then they put in like a ball? It's like a little kind of like rubber ball.
Yeah, here I got a picture of it on here. I'll look at it. It's like
Because I know there's a lot of different types of fusions, and the older ones are kind of shitty. It's like a lot of hardware and screws and stuff. Like whatever Ronnie Coleman's going through, rip.
yeah. I don't know if you can see that on there or not.
Uh, back it, move it to your left slightly. Yeah, back it up a little. Other way, other way. Yeah. Okay, okay. Back up a tiny bit more. Okay, so what is the ring? Oh, that's you circling it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That's my
So
Snapchat. Yeah.
so the two sides of it are kind of like bolted
Yeah.
in,
Yeah, they're bolted in.
and there's what's in between there. Is there anything in between? Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
so this little piece, that's the part that they right there in the middle, that's a different color.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's the
see it.
part that yeah.
Damn.
That's the
So
yeah. That part doesn't bend anymore.
so okay. So they do it that way, and this happened
Yes,
what
they put
2017.
yeah, April last year, 2017.
You got this done April last year,
Yeah, 24th, April
and
20.
okay, so April last year you got your freaking spinal fusion done. They literally fused your L5S1. Okay, and then what was the recovery like? What were you going through mentally? Did it affect your job? Did your school or like tell us about it?
Yeah. So I own a CrossFit gym, so it was rough. I mean, luckily I have a lot of members and stuff that are very understanding. So I uh, I had someone fill in for me for a little bit, and I would try to get after. So basically, 2 weeks after the surgery, I was bedridden, like I couldn't move at all.
They didn't
It
have
was
you
awful.
walk. They didn't have you stand up.
Yeah. So before I left the hospital, they had to have me like walk down the hospital, go up this little fake stair ramp thing they had. I had to do all that before and that was one of the most humbling things I've ever done in my life, man. I mean,
Fuck,
yeah, yeah, someone that's like paralyzed, like you could really truly. I don't want to say I can relate because obviously I'm great now, but it puts it into perspective how grateful you are to walk because it felt like I was learning how to walk again. It was insane.
I mean, you literally are. Did you, dude? I can only imagine. You probably were in so much pain. You probably woke up and you were just like,
I
"What the
remember
fuck?"
I had my girlfriend at the time, and like we were in the, she was like having to help me get out of the bed and pee in this little bottle they had, and I was like freaking out because I was like, if I got to take a crap, there's no way I could wipe my butt right now. Like I was freaking out, thinking that she was gonna have to help me with that.
Bruh, that's crazy, man. So you get out. You can't go to work. About how long before you actually feel like you could bend over and like tie your shoes?
Oh man, that was probably a while. I remember the first day I could put my socks on by myself. That was pretty cool.
Damn.
So basically, the doctor told me, he was like, so after about a month, he said I could start going to the gym and just doing things that I could do as long as it didn't flex my spine or nothing. Like someone could hand me dumbbells and I could do something with dumbbells, things like that. So I remember like just that first day or two after, I was thinking this dude is a liar. I will never do anything again. There's no way that this, like, it was so much pain. I couldn't fathom a month being good enough to go somewhere and do something. And after about 2 weeks, it got to the point where I could get up and kind of hobble, walk really slowly to places. Uh, yeah, man, I remember the first, I mean, I legit, when I bent down, I couldn't get past, I mean, I couldn't even get close to my kneecaps trying to touch my toes. And every day has slowly gotten better and better, and I can get down there now. But
So when did you? What blows my mind is like, you have hardware in there. So when you load your spine, the center, whatever's in the center, has to be able to bear that weight. So the side hooks or those screws,
yeah,
they can't. Those guys, like, literally everything has to be perfect. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, the bone has to grow. That's what they're waiting for, right? The bone has to regrow and
yeah.
kind of like fill in the gaps.
They said that they could go back out and go back in now and remove the screws if I wanted them to, but I really don't see any point in that.
He's like, no, I'll keep my adamantium.
I'm good.
I
I'm,
mean, yeah, it's like if they go back in, I mean, you don't have any pain, right?
yeah, no pain, man.
So
It
so
is.
so so when the surgery part went away, like the cut, and all that, and you started to heal up, when did you start to feel like, okay, that pain that I've had is gone?
All right, so after a while, I started. So probably about a month out, like I said, me and my brother would start going to this little local Globo gym, and he would just hand me dumbbells and stuff like that. And I know people are probably looking at it funny because he's having to hand me like 40-pound dumbbells so I could do bench press with them and stuff like that. But
It didn't
after,
hurt you to lay down, to sit down and lay down, because that
I
would
mean,
that
it
still bothers me
it was
sometimes.
definitely uncomfortable for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, I just made sure I kept my feet up and kept my spine straight and things like that. I would come to my gym. I would do like sled pushes and stuff like that to kind of work my legs still when I was able to kind of push a heavier load. And that was nothing that was going to load my back or anything like that. But after about a couple of months, I started loading up a barbell and just started doing like deadlifts and
Did you
like,
get cleared, or did you just say, "Fuck it, I feel fine, I'm gonna do it"?
yeah, I said, screw it, I feel fine. I mean, the guy said the worst thing he could have told me is if it doesn't hurt, you can do it. So I just kept doing anything that wouldn't hurt. I remember I was having to wear a belt to do like goblet squats, like I'm holding a kettlebell, like a 35-pound kettlebell, so I could brace
Fuck,
against it.
man. That's like the thing is with the back is like you feel okay, and then but you remember that pain. So anything that you do, you're kind of like,
Yeah, dude, man, I lifted for years, just terrified to pull, a 225 like from 2013, I snatched 290, and I didn't PR my snatch for 4 more years because I just couldn't pull. And like to snatch 275, I knew this was going to hurt so bad for me to do it, and that
you're
was
crazy,
just
man.
such a
But
hard thing to wrap your head around.
it's hard to, honestly. Would you say that going through this experience kind of taught you? One, I mean, you already said it. You appreciate the little things like walking and like sitting
Yeah,
down and doing normal stuff, but
putting it,
also like like having been through so many injuries. I was talking to a young guy in the gym the other day, and he asked me like, how often do you max out? And I was like, I mean, I don't really max out, but I will go heavy before a meet. But I'll never, like, I don't need safeties. I really don't need spotters. I just like to have them.
yeah,
But because the reason why I'll never max out like that or fail is because I know what it's like to be hurt. I know what it's
yeah,
like to. I know what it's like to lose. I know what it's like to
yeah,
like not be able to do the thing that like so many people take lifting for granted. Like the fact that you
yeah.
can like wake up and go to the gym and train and make your body stronger and feel good, and there's so many positive things to lifting.
Oh yeah,
Um,
man. It's my life. Like there's nothing I love more than it.
and to
Like,
have it taken away from you, I can't believe that you got healthy and you were good. I think I asked you when I sent everyone that questionnaire, and I was like, well, like you got a spinal fusion? Are you good? And you're like, yeah, man, I'm fine. Like I can do whatever. So for me, it's crazy because when I hurt my back way back, I had a doctor. I saw so many different doctors, and I had one doctor. He's like some genius guy who's like doing experimental stuff, and he was like, he looks at it and he goes, honestly, like you could lift, but it's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna like you're not gonna lose your legs or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he's like the body's incredible, and it'll find a way to heal. And
Yeah.
luckily, you know, I changed everything about my life. I don't know if you did this too, but like when I get out of a car to this day, I don't do one leg and then stand up. I mean, I do sometimes, but when from back then, I go 2 feet, put 2 feet down, and then stand up together. I don't.
Oh
Do,
yeah. Sure.
I don't do any type of leg, single leg things because when I'm like this uneven, that's when I would get. I actually hurt my back. Like the final straw. I mean, it was from football and all these other things. Was lunging. It was lunging with fucking 120s like a retard back in like 2011. And it humbles you. It brings you back down to earth. But once you get past it, you know what's on the other end of that max potentially. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it makes you better with. I'm sure you train people at your gym maybe or at least the way that you handle your own injuries. You you can deal with them so much better having come back from that, having overcame that. You kind of know now, like, okay, what are my limits? What is like red zone? That's why, like, if you feel good, and this is kind of like a philosophy I've adapted, is like if you feel good and you want to pull something heavy, and you feel really good, like it's there on the day, like we know you could pull 700, like a comfortable 8.5, 9 maybe.
Yeah.
If everything's there, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying do it all the time. I'm just saying if it's been a while, it's been a couple months, and you feel really good on a particular day, it might be good for your morale. It might be good for everything to kind of give you.
Yeah, just them going, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but that's why, like, not overdoing it and staying in the pocket is so important. You know what I mean? And after your injury, after you came back, after you were able to, get back to training. Is there anything that you did differently, or did you just kind of like feel it out and see what you could do, and then just did that? Like how come you didn't just go straight back to CrossFit? What made you want to say, okay, I want to do powerlifting?
So man, I just kind of got burnt out. Like we were talking about earlier, like CrossFit. So I was like in that top 60 in the world range, and for me to make the games, like I had to have the workouts go my way.
Yeah.
And it was like powerlifting, like you can pick your meat, you can do it whenever you want. Got 3 things and there's no curveball. You know exactly, like I'm going to show up, squat, bench, and deadlift.
That curveball, man. That fucking curveball.
Like, I have movements like pistols. Like, dude, I hate pistols so much. They're one-legged squats. They were just always terrible for me. So they throw 150 of those in a workout and I'm screwed. Like I'm just, there you go. Like my whole season's done. I trained all year for this one weekend. And then boom, just like that one workout.
I personally wouldn't be able to deal with stuff like that. I used to be.
It's depressing for sure.
Dude, it's like when you put in the preparation and then you get hit with, like, I mean, I'm trying to relate it to powerlifters. If you show up to a meet and like there's no air conditioning, all the warm up room sucks, like the platform slippery is a different bar, like literally everything is not the way that you planned. I mean, there's gonna be times when you just have to accept the circumstances and be like, all right, fuck, like, I'm gonna just do what I can. But did you, like in your training? I mean, obviously so basically you felt like you had to give what you had to give in order to get to the top.
Yeah. And another thing too, man, like powerlifting, like I basically spend about 2 hours a day lifting now, between lifting and just accessories and stuff like that afterwards. I mean, with CrossFit, I probably spent 5 to 6 hours a day training, just because there was just hundreds of different, I'd have to hop on a rower and row for an hour kind of thing just to build an aerobic base and practice gymnastics skills, weightlifting, all this stuff. So it was a full-time job for me to, have one workout ruin my year. And it got exhausted.
The risk reward, the opportunity cost of having to pursue that was just not worth, what, I mean, honestly, powerlifting, you're never going to get hurt if you do it. I mean, injuries happen.
Yeah, they happen. Dude, my body feels 1,000 times. I've had back surgery, and I feel 1,000 times better than I did when I did CrossFit. It's not even close. And it blows people's mind because I'm lifting so much more than I used to. And I'm not knocking CrossFit, man. I love it to death. Like it shaped who I am today.
The injury. Oh, I mean, of course.
You can only take a bar crashing on your body over and over again before you start feeling some wear and tear.
I mean, CrossFit is one of those things where it's so hard to. I think they should like ban certain movements and get it down to like a certain amount, so that way, like, instead of literally infinite possibilities, you only practice. Like, okay, guys, this year we're gonna focus on these 10 movements. So practice these 10 movements. That would be, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like. So powerlifting, what I was saying was, like, if you maybe transitioning from being very weak to very strong, like, everybody kind of goes through a growth spurt. I would say some people their rate of progression is going to be so slow, right? This is highly genetic that they're not gonna really get to experience what I'm talking about. Their noob gains are gonna be really moderate, right? They're not gonna just, but like
Blow up.
like Mikey Davis, for example, he was a 93 when he was in his transition to move up to 230. He made absurd progress, and we had a lot of little injuries here and there, nothing too crazy, but just like a lot of little things, because your body is growing and you're handling so much more weight so quickly that connective tissue takes a while. But once you kind of get to where you need to kind of really work to gain more strength, you're not really going to get hurt. Like, for me, squatting 700 pounds or squatting 675, like, and then the next step is like 630, and then I'm going to inch for 750, and then I'm going to inch for 7, you know what I'm saying? It's like very, very small jumps. And on deadlifts, I'm inching right now and bench too for gains. So it's like, after fucking 10 years, it's like, you're not going to get hurt. You're not going to get hurt, like, going for those little extra. Maybe if you overdo it one day, or you're constantly at the pocket, but with CrossFit, the variability is such a factor.
There's just so many foreign things that you got to go all out.
Dude, what blew my mind, I don't know if it was this last games, but how many people tore their pecs doing the ring dips?
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was
that is. Somebody
right
needs to step
after
in.
my back hurt. Yeah, I missed that year.
Dude,
so
that was, dude. It's insane. I mean, girls aren't gonna tear their pec
because CrossFitters never bench, bro. They don't ever. That's something I did all the time in CrossFit. I still benched because I was, just wanted a big bench.
I mean, being strong. I mean, it won't hurt. I mean, it's strong, but dude, that's insane. That is like that many.
Oh yeah, 20, 30 people popped the pec that year. It was nuts. The same thing. All those people trained all year long.
They probably weren't expecting that.
And then pop the pec, and their season's done.
Yeah. So I mean, there's an inherent flaw with that kind of process. I think it would behoove them to do something like that. But who am I? I'm just some guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So now you're healthier than ever. You went through your surgery. You feel you probably. I experience this occasionally, randomly. I'll be in the car driving. I don't know if you go through this, but I'll literally be driving to the gym, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening to my music, right? And I'm just like, I am so fucking happy and thankful I could do this. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, every day before I go to bed, I'm excited.
Dude, it's like a simple thing.
I'm like, oh my God, I get a deadlift tomorrow. Like,
right?
It's just that much fun.
It's such a simple...
And I do it, and it's just the same routine. I bench every other day, but I'm pumped every night before I go to bed because I get to bench tomorrow. It's just...
Dude, it's one of those things that going through a big injury like that, I didn't go through the type of surgery that you went through, but I was out. I couldn't train my legs for 2 months, and the mental, like, it's almost like some omnipotent force. You could say God or something, right?
Yeah.
It's just he's gonna take you and he's gonna sit you down, and he goes, you know what? I'm gonna bench you for 2 months. I'm gonna bench you for 6 months. I'm gonna bench you for whatever. That thing that you love, I'm gonna take it from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna bench you from that thing that you love.
And I'm gonna see, and we're gonna see what you're made of, right? Well, I'm gonna test you, and if you get through this, you're gonna have a way better outlook on life. Like you said, it's gonna shape who you are today. Yeah. And it's gonna help you, moving forward, dealing with any type of adversity remotely. Like now, when you get a little strain or something, you're like, it's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah. It's literally nothing. Yeah. It's like, I've been through way worse than that. That's not going to keep me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely puts little tweaks into perspective for sure.
Right. So for those of you guys looking at this, right? So, I mean, I've had a pretty bad back thing. His is like obviously infinity times worse. And that just came from you're pushing your body to the limit. You're trying to be, the best in anything that you do. When you get super extreme, God forbid anything happens in a meet or something. But like I said, powerlifting, if you do it right, I think you can go years and years and years without taking a serious injury, and that is actually like one of the major keys to like being successful in powerlifting is just not being able to consistently do it and not get hurt. Even if like I talk about this with my young ambitious guys all the time. They want to be doing everything that they can to make the most amount of progress right now,
Hmm.
and what we want to do, like, anybody could do Smolov and their squat is going to go up after they die for a couple weeks, but
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to sustain that. And like, yeah, your rate of progress may be faster than what it is now, but it's like, how are you going to transition off of that? How are you going to move forward from doing that much, right? So it's about the long game. You want to make progress at a rate that is appreciable, right? So we're making decent progress, but you're allowing your connective tissue in your body to kind of, go with it and not get hurt. If you can not get hurt, if this is injury, right, and you can
Yeah.
stay right here, right, regardless of how much more or less you could be doing, right. Let's say you go here now. Every day is 50-50. You could get
Yeah.
hurt or not. It's not worth it. The guy
No.
who stays here for longer is
Yeah. The
gonna.
dude staying healthiest is at a huge advantage.
Yeah, and then it's just a lot of time. Like, dude, I remember your last meet. I was so proud of you. Like, you had hit some crazy numbers, and I was like, dude, I'm so proud of you, whatever. And then you brought up I think you got second,
Yeah.
right? But that guy, dude, how many
Dude
years
was
has he been doing it? How many years have you?
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you are literally just getting started. From
Yeah.
April, you were at complete zero, right? Basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
Zero.
you know what I mean. And the next meet's gonna be even better. And then it's just literally, it is a function. I say this all the time. It is a function of, Rachel. I think she
Yeah. Yeah.
reposted you one time.
Yeah.
It is a function of. I was telling her this the other day. It is a function of not, like, not getting hurt and time, and then equals like you're gonna get there. You know what I mean? So,
But
and of course you want to keep your health in mind. I'll never forget when it was like back in, I think it was like 2014. I was with Mark Bell was at Barbell Brigade for some reason,
uh,
and I asked him like, why are you done competing? Right? I mean, he competed again later, but I think
yeah.
at that moment he just he was done, and he was like, what I had to give to get more was not practical anymore. Like, what he basically had to make it his life. I mean, there's everything, everybody's different. There's different ways to. I found a way, and what I hope to give to you, and to I mean, I feel like you're kind of there. To my younger lifters is like, you want to make powerlifting something that enhances your life and something that you can progress at without kind of compromising your happiness, right? Obviously, if you want to win a certain meet, you may need to
Yeah.
sacrifice a couple things to like get there.
Yeah.
But it should not be something that, like, I don't dread going to the gym. I mean, there's days when I don't feel like benching, but then when I get there, I'm like happy that I'm doing it. I'll never, like, there's got to be a really good reason for me to miss a workout, like a super good reason. So I'm sure you have similar sentiments about training, and I mean, you're at a gym, right? You own the gym,
Yeah. So I mean, my life is a gym every day.
and you don't get tired of it.
Nah.
I mean,
Not
there's
yet.
there's time. I mean, there's times when,
There's
I mean,
days. I mean, for sure, there's days where I'm not like as fired up to lift and stuff. But
of course that's normal. I mean, it goes like that. We have hormones. They're up. They're down. They move. There's days I wake up, I'm like, I'm super productive. I want to kill everything, and then there's days when I'm just like, I'm kind
some
of
of those
dry.
days are the best days, man, too. Because I mean, when
Yeah.
you're on it and you go in and you get that work,
The
you leave happy that you
so
did it.
the days, I've had a lot of momentum recently on squats, and I didn't go into those days thinking. I didn't go into that session like, oh, I'm hitting this today. I just went in like I do every day, and it's like, I'll just see what I have. And then when I started warming up after 585, I was like, fuck, man, I think I have 7 today. And it's a nice surprise because I had no expectation. I just do my thing. So
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday when I pulled 700, like I was just going into deadlift, and then we had a pretty fun environment. We had a lot of buddies in there training, so I was like, screw it, I'll pull 7 today.
Was that your buddy Justin? Was he in there
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
I saw you in the back.
Dude, yeah, he's a nut, man. Dude, I tell people all the time, he alone has added so much weight to my total because
He just
he's a
pushes you.
savage. He's a savage.
He's a good
He,
dude, man. He was very respectful when he came out here, and you guys kind of have that. I feel like you guys were raised well. You guys have respect, like when you talk. You know what I mean?
yes, I think it's a Southern thing for
Yeah.
sure. You have to say like yes sir, no sir, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely appreciate that, and it was good to see him at the gym. When are you coming out?
Okay, so December 30th. I think I'm flying out the 30th and be there till the 2nd, January 2nd.
Oh, let me pull up my calendar. Is it just for New Year's, or you got family out here, or what?
Yeah, just New Year's. Me and my brother are coming to watch LeBron.
Oh, dude, that's great. It's so weird seeing him in a Lakers jersey.
Oh, I know it's nuts, but I'm a Lakers fan now, so.
So you were a LeBron fan, and now he's...
Yeah, I was a Cleveland fan, a Heat fan, you know.
Well, nice, dude. So that is... Well, I mean, one of those days we gotta hit the gym, but
Sure.
that's dope, man. So guys, coming up on an hour here. Kirk, thank you. Super. I mean, I told him I had wanted to do this for a bit, but I just sprung it on him yesterday. Like, yo, man, can you jump on tomorrow? Because we got holiday. Because literally after this, I got to edit this and put it up, and then we got holidays coming up, and it's gonna be crazy. So I wanted to get it out. Also, I wanted to bring back the podcast. I hadn't done it for a while, and I already had a couple people say yes. So thank you guys for bearing with me on that. So takeaways from this, guys, regardless of what kind of little injury you're going through, I hope you can hear Kirk's story. Literal spinal fusion from doing crazy stuff in CrossFit. Kept pushing through it for years. Gets the surgery. Comes back, right? In less than a year. He freaking got the surgery in April. Hits me up in February. What did you hit this last meet?
Okay, so back up. Last year, yeah, so I had the surgery in April. My first meet, it was in October 2017. I totaled 1504, I think.
Nuts!
So I hit a 529 squat, 385 bench, and I think, 589 deadlift. Well,
nuts.
Exactly one year later, I hit a 639 squat, 402 bench, and a 711 deadlift.
And,
so
and based on how your training is going, you're gonna kill that. Like that's
I'm gonna crush 1800 plus at this next one for sure.
Dude, like guys, there is nothing your body can, like, honestly, there's so few things that the body can't come back from. Like, you'll find a way through it. Whatever you're going through.
The funny thing, man, is the doctor told me that I would be. He said you'll be able to live pain free, but you'll be about 90% of what you used to be.
I mean, he's just trying to be safe, cover his bases. You're better than him.
Yeah, I know for sure. Like, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do something because
he had it.
Like I don't walk in the gym and let my back be an excuse.
I had I was with Tina in a doctor's office. I'm sure they've heard this a million times. And I remember that she told me, she's like, you're done. She straight up said, you're done. If you keep going, we're going to have to go in there and you're going to get a fusion and you're going to be done and you're not going to be able to do anything. This was literally verbatim what they told me. And I just felt so alone in that moment. I felt so.
I mean, you don't want to say you define yourself by lifting, but it's who you are. You love it.
I mean, I'd be pretty fucked up if I couldn't lift.
Yeah.
I would find new things to do, but it would suck. And it is, exercising like that and doing things like that has been a part of my life ever since. I'm sure it's been a part of yours. Big. I'm surprised you started lifting in junior year. I mean, I guess. I mean, I was messing around when I was younger, but like, seriously.
Man, I was lazy as hell.
But hey, you know what? Looking back, you probably appreciate that your dad pushed you.
Yeah, so much.
So, guys, you put in the work. It's going to pay off. These injuries definitely, they build toughness. It helps you get through, build character. Adversity that you overcome is just going to make you a better person. So, before we go, did you ever talk to your doctor again, like recently? Like, hey man, like I'm 100%.
Nah,
that would be crazy, man.
I need to reach out to him and say.
I just shoot him an email even, and I can't wait to see what he says. So, Kirk, let everybody know like where they can find you. I'm gonna put your IG and stuff down below, but just let everyone know where we can find you.
All right. Basically, I'm just on Instagram. You can find me at Kirk Smash 77,
Nice. And where's your gym located?
McDonough, Georgia. So it's a little south of Atlanta. So if you're ever here and want to ride down a little bit to come lift, come on.
Hit him up. Alrighty, Kirk. Thank you so much, man. I think a lot of takeaways from that, and we'll keep checking in on training and killing it.
And I appreciate it. I hope this motivates someone, keeps them going.
Oh, I definitely think it does. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Have